Hi kiddos, how's it going? Miss Veale here, hanging out, and I hope that you guys are enjoying your time at home with your families. I know that I have been, and I just really wanted to kind of do something because I've heard a bunch of you guys are like, well, I don't have any art supplies at home. I don't have anything to make some of these projects. So I wanted to pop on here for a couple minutes just to show you that if you have some spices in your spice cabinet, or if you have some liquid food coloring at home, let me tell you, you're in luck because you're going to be able to make some paint. Okay, it might not be super thick paint, it might not be what you're used to from the store, but hey, it's from things that we have at home, and you'll still be able to make some awesome art with it. So let's dive in. So what you're going to need is some little bowls, just for however many colors that you want to do. So I have a couple of my glass bowls here that I'm just going to set out. You need a little bit of cornstarch. Okay, it's like this white powder stuff. You need, if you have paintbrushes at home, I just have some of my old ones that I've had forever that I don't mind using. So I have those. You can also use, if you have Q-tips or cotton balls, you can use those kinds of things as well. And then you're going to need some water. I have some warm water here, and that's going to help the spices kind of blend with everything a little bit better. Okay? So be very careful if you get some warm water. Don't burn yourselves, all right? So what you're going to do is you're going to look through all of your spices, and you're going to figure out, which ones that you want to use. So you probably want to have, a red, a green, maybe a couple shades of brown, a couple shades of orange. So paprika, that's what I have right here. It's really red. So I'm going to hold that one aside for my red, and I'm going to stick it in one of my bowls so I know that I have red. Let's see. I have some Italian seasoning. That's kind of green, so we'll pull that aside for my green. I also have some thyme. I'm going to pull that with that one too, see if those will make it work. Turmeric, this is a really nice yellowy orange, and this one shows up really well. So I'll pull that one. Let's see. Cinnamon is a nice kind of reddish brown as well. I have an allspice here. That can be my dark brown. And I think that's plenty. Maybe some nutmeg. I think I like nutmeg. I like the way it smells. All right. So now I'm going to put everything else aside. Okay. So here's the basic steps that you're going to do. You're going to get your bowl. You're going to put a little bit of cornstarch in there. This is going to help your paint kind of come together, and it will stick better to your paper. It makes it a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to stir that up a little. And then I'm going to put in just a big dollop of my turmeric, okay? And so what you're going to do, guys, is you're just going to kind of stir it up. Make sure that you don't see hardly any white. Okay, so you're just going to mix that up really nice and good until it's all kind of mixed together. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of water, and if it's warm water, just be careful, don't burn yourself. Just do a little bit. And then you're going to slowly and gently kind of mix that together until all the clumps are gone, okay? So I'm just going to stir it. And you want to do warm water because water and spices don't really mix very well. But if you have that warm water, it'll help them kind of get wet and dissolve so that you have a really nice, look at how pretty that kind of yellowish orange is. Now you have a really nice color that you can use for your paint. All right, so you're going to do this with all the colors you're going to use. So I have my pretty yellow orange that I'm going to set here. I definitely want to do my red. because I love red. So you're going to put in your spices. You're going to put in your cornstarch, and make sure you're smelling these too, because spices are so cool. And even for little ones, guys, if you'll have little brothers or sisters, make sure your parents are around, but just smell them. They all smell so differently. Some are sweet, some are earthy, some are spicy. So you want to make sure that you're doing that while you're working too. If you have some pepper, make sure you don't get it on your hands. Don't put it in your eyes. It'll hurt. So you don't need any accidents, all right? So then again, I just have my cornstarch and my spice in there. Add a little bit more. Paprika is spicy, so be careful with it if you have it, and so is red pepper. Okay, so now it's all mixed together. I'm going to add a little bit of my water. Okay, and then mix it together. If your colors aren't as bright as you want them to be, and you have a little bit of food coloring, add a drop at a time and then kind of mix it in with your mixture to make your colors a little bit brighter. You can also just mix cornstarch with a couple drops of your food coloring if you want brighter, kind of shinier colors. And if you have leftover Easter egg tablets, you can dissolve those in water with a little bit of cornstarch and use those as your paints too. Okay, so you have lots of different options. Or if you decide to go to the store for a minute and you see the Easter thing is on clearance, you can go get some Easter egg dye there too. Super inexpensive. See how pretty this red has kind of turned out? But oh, I still have some cornstarch down in there. But it's not as bright as I want it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my food coloring box here, and I do have a little bit of red, okay? The color of the top, it should be the color of the dye. So I'm going to put 1, 2 drops in first, just to see how it goes. Oh yeah, and that makes it a lot prettier, a lot prettier. Awesome. Okay, so now I have my yellowish orange, and now I have my red. I definitely want green. So I have my Italian seasoning. That one smells so good. Smells like spaghetti. And then I have my thyme. I'm going to put both of those in my my bowl here. So I'm just going to shake, shake, shake until I think there's enough. Okay, give them a quick stir. Do a little bit of cornstarch. Oh, well, it's better if you use a spoon. I was just trying to eyeball it, but ended up making a little bit of a mess. But it's fine. It all cleans up really nice and easy. I'm just going to stir it together until it all comes together. I'm going to put some more thyme in mine to make it a little bit more green. Mix together. When it's all nice and good, add a little bit of your warm water. Just a little at a time. And then if your paint's too thick, you can always add a little bit more. Yeah, see, mine's getting kind of clumpy. If your paint gets clumpy like this, you need a little bit more water. Just add a splash of water just to try and break it up a little. I hope you guys are doing all right. I miss you all so much. And I love seeing y'all's posts in your Google Drive and the emails that I've been getting. So it's been really awesome just to see how creative you guys are getting at home. All right. So this green isn't super green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my food coloring box. I'm going to get probably 1 or 2 drops of green in there. Whoops, that was a big drop, so I think we'll be good. And I'm going to stir that in. I don't want it to be too bright. I want it to look a little bit more on the natural side. I think this works for me. So yeah, oh, and it smells so good. That warm water really brings out the smell of your spices. Okay, so now I have 3 colors. I have red, yellowish orange, and green. Then I'm going to use nutmeg for my brown. And I'm going to use my Jamaican allspice for my dark brown. Or actually, I'm going to do blue. So I'm just going to get some cornstarch and some blue food coloring. And I'm going to do warm water in there first to kind of break up the cornstarch. I'm going to get some bright colors. Also, if you don't want blue, or if you want colors like purple, what I would recommend is if you have a little bit of your blue food coloring, and if you do a little drop of red, so blue and red, when they mix together, makes purple. Yeah, you guys got it. So I have red and blue in there, and it's kind of pretty. I don't know if you can see, I'm trying. If you mix that together, you start to get this pretty purple. And if that's the color you want, keep it. So I'm going to keep that purple because I kind of like it. And then this last little bit of cornstarch here, I'm just going to leave straight blue. All right. So pretty. Okay. So now I've just made red, yellow, green, blue, purple. So yeah, I've almost made all the colors of the rainbow. See, super awesome. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you can, get your paintbrushes together and you can just make whatever you want. I really like nature, and I've been in my garden a lot while I've been home. So I think I'm gonna paint some flowers. So let me just get all my paint over here. Wow, this looks really pretty. And if you want to, try and put them in rainbow order. So we have red, and we have orange or yellow, green, blue, purple. And if you have the bright food colors too, those would be really fun to play with, like the pinks and the neon greens and the super pretty lavenders. Those would be really nice to add to your collection of paint here. If it's just one of you, don't put too much water in there because then you'll have these paints forever. Or you can keep them for the week and you can, paint something different every day until you're out. So awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna get my paintbrush and I'm gonna stir, 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 stir. Make sure my colors are fully mixed before I even get started painting, okay? And so I'm just taking an old sketchbook that I have, and I'm just gonna test all my colors. So that purple is really light. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit more cornstarch to it. So a little bit more cornstarch, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more of my colors too, to kind of make it show up a little bit more. So I added a little bit of my red and a little bit of my blue to make purple, all right? So then take your paintbrush, stir it up. You want your color that's in your cup to be kind of dark. You want it to have lots of pigment or lots of color in there. Oh yeah, that one's much better. So I'm gonna add a little bit more red to brighten it up. Okay. So then I think after this little mix, it'll be perfect. And so you just want to test all of your colors on an extra sheet of paper first before you start painting, just so you know what your colors look like. All right. So now I'm gonna pop in and test my blue, stir it up with my paintbrush. Oops. Make sure you don't stain your countertops. Make sure you have some paper underneath you before you get started, or a plastic bag or something. Oh, the blue is really nice and pretty. Okay, nice. I like how light some of these are. This would be really pretty for like a sky. And the cool thing with these water-based paints is that when they dry, you can paint over them and gradually make them darker. So they're watercolor-like, so that means they're kind of transparent, so you can see through them. But as they dry, you can add layers and layers and layers to make your colors brighter and brighter, okay? So you might have to be patient with the art that you're making this week. Okay. So let's stir this green up a little bit and see what this color looks like. I love green. I wear green almost every day. Okay, this one's really pretty. It's like a light kind of grassy green. And remember what I say about watercolor, guys. Don't pick it up until it's dry, okay? Because you don't need a mess everywhere. I'm going to add another couple of drops of green just to make it a little bit darker, a little bit brighter. Okay. All right, made that a little bit better. So now I'm going to test it out again. Okay, yes, that's really nice. And then the texture that I put with my Italian seasoning actually helps make it look like grass, kind of ruffly, kind of rough. So having texture in your paints is a good thing. Okay. So now I'm going to test out my yellowish color. Stir it up really nice. All right. Oh, that one's perfect. If you have turmeric, you need to use it. It comes out with the most vibrant color. I didn't even have to add any food coloring at all to this one. Super bright. And if you have like a pen or a pencil, I'd recommend labeling these. So you say what spices you used or what food colors you used, all right? Because then that'll help you remember how you made it. Oh, this one's thick. This one's really thick. This is the paprika. So this is my last color. I'm gonna grab, oh. Some of my paintbrushes don't have the brush part, they're just the stick. That's not gonna do any good. Okay, and then I have my paprika and I'm gonna test that out. This one's really thick. So I think I added too much cornstarch to that. So I might need to do a little bit more water just to kind of break it up a little. Yeah, if your paint is not spreading out very well, you might need to just add a couple spoonfuls more of water just to help it. Okay. Now, aha, there we go. Much better, much better, much better. All right, you guys ready to see? Look at all those colors from things that I just had sitting in my cabinet, okay? So now what I want you to do is surprise me. Come up with something amazing, okay? Whether it's, you know, an undersea extravaganza, or if it's a beautiful park in the summer, or if it's a winter wonderland, come up with your own piece of art for me and send it to me in the Google Drive or email. And I can't wait to see what you guys create this week. Love you guys so much, and I can't wait for all of my big hugs.